Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Emilio show. It is another Tech Tuesday. I am here with Jannie van der Vaalt, a man who's been with me on these shows for quite a while now. We are continuing our venture into the future of tech series. We are doing robotics this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, what is the future of robotics? Yeah. Hopefully, we've advanced further than the robot dance.
I hope so too.
All right. So, very quickly, Jannie, where do you want to start with this one? Because I do want to talk about at some point this evening about the disadvantages of robots, but we'll get to that a bit later.
Let's start off with, what do you think a robot is?
Okay.
What is a robot to you?
A robot is a machine designed by man to do a specific task or general task.
Yeah, that's kind of like very loosely the definition.
Well, I didn't know I was going to get quizzed today.
No. But when you say a machine, what does that machine look like to you?
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, I know robots. So when you say robot, right? You might think Transformers, or you might think like iRobot, Terminator kind of thing. But in South Africa, robots are traffic lights. So, I mean, really, we can range it.
I didn't think about that, but true. Very much true. And that's the thing, because I think when we say robots, I think depending on who you talk to, pop culture has made robots be this humanoid, RoboCop, iRobot, whatever, looking thing. And in my mind, there's probably like 5 different types of robots. If we want to just brush through them, like on the one side we have the humanoids, the robots that looks and mimics human beings, and or it mimics human behavior rather. And probably the best examples of those robots is Hanson Robotics, Sophia. If you've seen Sophia, I actually managed to see Sophia in real life. And Boston Dynamics Atlas, which is not as cool as Sophia. Sophia looks like an actual human being. But Atlas is more like an iRobot looking droidy thing. Or humanoids being one option, autonomous robots. Now, autonomous robots can now be used very loosely, because autonomous robots is essentially a robot or a machine that is designed to operate independently from humans, right? So your Roomba vacuum cleaner, or the Samsung Jet AI vacuum cleaner, which is supposed to be like a better version of the Roomba. Or even the Mars Ingenuity drone would be classified as a autonomous robot. Although it's a drone, drones becomes, again, it overlaps now a little bit, but it's autonomous machine that does human things. Teleoperated robots, we have them, we've had them for a long time, semi-autonomous. So these bomb squad robots that you would send into like very dangerous situations to go and defuse a bomb, or the BP oil leak back in 2010 when BP killed Nemo. There was an autonomous or a semi-autonomous robot that got used to help seal that mistake. In mining, they use underground drill rigs and things because harsh conditions, whatever, harsh conditions. So, it's used in that space. And then lastly is those augmenting robots, but it's more like prosthetics and exoskeletons and type of stuff. And that's a space where Elon Musk is very interested in lately. I don't know if you followed his stuff around the Neuralink tech that he's doing, where they implant those very fine, I don't even know what it is, like neurons into your brain, or neural paths into your brain that kind of translate brain signals to machine signals. So Yeah, those are your typical types of robots, and then they come in multiple shapes and sizes. I mean, we haven't spoken about the pre-programmed robots. This is another one. Pre-programmed robots being like, monotonous tasks, simple automotive assembly lane type of stuff, your industrial types of things. So robots is it's been around for a while.
It has been around for a while. As a matter of fact, I wanted to ask our viewers, true or false, and I'll give them a moment to reply in the live chats, but true or false, and Yanni, this also, you can answer this as well. True or false, a man has died at the hands of a robot. True or false?
I'll probably say true.
Okay.
Because robot's a very loose term about what a robot could be. It could be a pre-programmed, simple task type of, like, assembly line robot that killed him, like in a lab or something weird. So yeah,
Okay.
or your Roomba vacuum was a bit.
Roomba vacuum.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have the article out in front of me. For those who might be interested, I'm going to bring it up now. So this apparently happened. The first human killed by a robot happened in Michigan. It was in 1979. And this man, Williams, died instantly in 1979 when the robot's arm slammed him as he was gathering parts in the storage facility where the robot also retrieved parts. So obviously, it was an arm of some kind retrieving parts, and it knocked him and he died instantly.
Did they show what that robot looked like, though? The reason why I'm asking is 1979. So let's just think about 1979 really quick.
Well, right. Get this. Hold before you continue. This actually went to trial. A jury decided it was not the robot's fault. This was. They took it to court.
And let's say it was the robot's fault. Just what would you have done?
Holy smokes! The family was awarded $10 million in damages. That's a lot in 1979. Well, I mean, there's not much you can do. I mean, it's done. Like, what are you gonna do? Take the robot to you probably destroy the robot? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, let's maybe segue to this real quick. So this is an interesting point around robotics. Now, we have spoken about this in autonomous cars and things as well, because again, depending on who you talk to, even autonomous cars is seen as robots, autonomous robots, because again, what is a robot? So the fact that it has wheels and not legs makes it a car, Anyway, so there is a theory. Now, you obviously understand the laws of robotics. So I'm pretty sure that that robot was not programmed to kill somebody. The problem that happened there is that it's 1979. Think about the tech that existed. And I want to take you back a few years because there's another robot I want to tell you about. But that robot probably didn't have the sensory information to understand his surroundings, to understand that there was a human being there, whatever the case may be. And also, that robot probably didn't have a way to understand how fast to move or impact or whatever. I mean, so, it's probably engineering flaw that's caused it. The fact that a human being was in the way there is a challenge. Even today in autonomy, we're using like autonomy rigs for mining or drilling or whatever. It's heavily barricaded. Like, it's usually only happens in a place where human beings aren't around, that you don't have to worry about some of these things. But anyway, laws of robotics would have prevented that robot from killing a human being. What's the right word? Like, he didn't mean to kill him. But there is a lady, this is not the robot story I want to tell you about the 60s, but there's a lady that in the 60s, I forgot her name, her surname was Foot, that wrote a thesis. Her surname was, I can't remember her name. Her surname, I know it was Foot. It's called some Foot Theory or something. But anyway, she wrote a thing around around a, a problem that is now heavily used within robotics, because where we are today, when it comes to autonomy and having robots being fully autonomous and think for itself and become like this humanoid type of thing, we need to teach these robots quite a few things. And this is where, for the first time, and I'm not trying to say that philosophers have like don't have a meaningful job or anything, but this is for the first time where something like philosophy, for me, plays a super important role in science and mechanics and whatever, because they're using these philosophers to help them train and teach these robots to think. And the challenge, I don't know if you've ever heard about this challenge, but it's called the trolley problem.
No,
okay,
I haven't heard of that.
Let me share my screen quickly, then you can see the picture. Let me know if you can see that. Let me make it bigger, like this. So they say it's a trolley problem. So this is what it's called, the trolley problem. But this is a tram or a train or a whatever now, right? And there's variations of this. On the one variation, there's a guy standing here pulling a lever that will either make it decide to go left or right. But anyway, this train, let's call it a train, is cruising uncontrollably down now. And if it stays on this current track, that train is going to drive over those 5 people. Okay? Or, in her example, the train driver could yank left and he would kill 1 person. So in this example, he would either do nothing, kill 5 people, or do something and kill 1 person. What would you do? What would you do? What do you think is the morally correct thing to do here?
I would agree with Gentle and probably drink the wine on the tram.
So you're killing the 5 people because you're doing nothing.
I hate these kind of questions, man, because you're basically saying
there's no right or wrong answer here, though.
I feel like
there isn't. There isn't. This is 50 years later, and this is still something that's being debated today. There is no right or wrong answer here. But this goes around making that moral decision. And there's some very nice words to explain some of this, and we can get to that later. But what do you do?
Gentle says, I go for the 5, more food for the 1 guy.
Wow.
No, wait, but she got it. She makes a good point.
But wait, she does make a good point, and I want to get to that point because, again, okay, so before we get to that point, because there's a story to this, what do? You are the train driver. You do nothing. You kill 5 people. You go left. You kill 1 person. Whether you're the train driver or whether
do I know anything about these 5 people? Are they family? Do I have any backstory? It's just 5. It's 5 random people and 1 random person, right? It's not like my wife is the 1 person there.
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't. Okay, so it's just people. It's random people. Okay.
Yeah, it's random people.
I don't know what to do, man. Instinctively, I want to just kill the 1 person because YouTube's probably going to penalize me now for saying that. But. Yeah. Instinctively, I'd want to go for the 1 person because, you 1 person, what's 1 life, you're saving 5. But at the same time, Gentle makes a really good point. Sorry, I got distracted by here. The 5 are going to break loose and hijack you.
So there is various options, but I mean, even in this example, like, okay, let's say it was in a trench or whatever, right? The train was driving in a trench. So those 5 guys was workers busy fixing the railroad. So they have 3 directions to go. They can either climb up the hill, which is too steep, so they can't. They can run to the train, away from the train. Either way, the train runs faster than them. They get killed. Okay, so they can't get away from that. So. And this is something, and now this whole thing, the fact that we spent 5 minutes talking about this, and even the examples that Gentle was giving, although funny, is exactly the way how people think. Now, how do you teach that to a robot? How do you teach a robot, an autonomous AI, whatever we want to call it, how do you teach that Tesla car what to do if it is going down that hill uncontrollably, kill one person, kill five people? How do you teach it that? Because you can't say, well, say five, kill the one, because you can't build logic into that. This is not something we solve with logic. That's the thing. And that makes autonomy and everything that we're busy with autonomous robots and all of those things today, that makes it so hard. Which is why I think we should take our hats off for what the people are doing with these small little gains that they get with the tech that they're doing. But that is hard because there's a variance to this. I think it was either in the 80s, 90s, 70s, somewhere. Another philosopher or somebody wrote a book based on top of this first philosopher lady's book. And she changed it where she said there was a bridge across. So rather than that second road that goes off to the left with the one person, there's a bridge across that road. Okay. And on top of that bridge, you are standing on top of that bridge, and with you is another person standing, but like a very big person standing, like a 500 kilogram in weight person standing there. But that person, doesn't matter how big this person is big enough that if you were to push them off the bridge and they would land on top of the railway, it would stop the train. So that changes the whole dynamic of this thing, because you are now directly doing something. You are pushing somebody down a bridge. So you are sacrificing one person to save five. And that is, again, something that if you were to teach that to a robot, how do you teach that to a robot? How do you teach a robot when to kill a human being? Because it's a challenge that Tesla has today. There's a dog in the road. If you swerve out for the dog, the Tesla hits a pole with a very good chance of killing its driver. Really? So does it kill the dog, or does it kill the driver? At what point do you add value to human life, animal life, whatever? So see, this is the thing. This is what makes it so hard for us to have this robots that's taking over the world. I just think that's interesting. I'm sorry to say, but Skynet's not quite here yet.
Well, all right. So we'll leave people in the comments to let us know their thoughts. If you're watching this after the show, comment below. Let us know what you think. What is in your mind the right thing to do? What I would just like to do now, because
I also chose to kill one person and save five. For me, it sounds like
that's
the most
what you do
option.
Instinctively, you want to do that.
Exactly. But how did we get to that? Like, how did you get to that? Did your mom teach you that? Because how do you teach that to a robot?
You program it.
How?
You come up with some logical equation. I don't know, dude. I'm not a robotics expert person that fucking does this shit. But it's a good point, and I think it's one of the 3 laws. For those people who don't know, there's 3 laws in robotics for robots to follow, and I don't know them off by heart. But Jannie, maybe you can quickly Google and get them. But
robots. Oh, I know them.
Yeah. Oh, you know them. Okay.
So a robot may not injure a human being. A robot must obey the orders given by its human being, except where those orders is in breach of the first law. And a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or the second laws.
Yeah, so if those of you that have watched iRobot will remember those laws, it turns out that wasn't sci-fi; they're real.
Isaac Asimov or somebody. Isaac Asimov.
I just got a question for some, because we're talking about the future of robots, right? So the future of robotics, we know, okay, those are the 3 laws that are going to kind of protect, to a certain extent, human beings, right? And I want to know, Jannie, do you really think that what I'm about to show you is the future of robots? You might get a bit of a flashback here. No. No. Nobody's gonna hear this, but let me just rather do. How do I do this now? Just give me a moment. Do share screen. I'm not gonna. I can't. I can't show um music per se, unfortunately.
Yeah, just don't share the audio,
Um,
maybe.
yeah, but I'll show you visuals, and you guys can let me know. Is this the future of robotics? Just give it a moment. For those of you who don't know what this is, it is a robotic dog, and this guy has programmed the dog to do something. It's doing something. It's about to do something. Where is it? So, here we go. Okay. Just going to fast forward to the point where it happens. There we go. All right. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the future of robotics. Yanni's favorite. What the?
Ads. Why?
Yeah. Here we go. How does that look,
Why is he
Yanni?
moving? Why is he moving? That could teach him to stand still. This is what happens, though, right? When a bunch of geeks gets hold of a new toy. Tell me, show me when we haven't taken one thing and used it for its purposes that it was not intended for. But
It's
this robot dog,
urinating beer.
is this the one from Hanson Robotics? Because there's like so many of these dogs out now.
Man.
This
Ladies
is
and gentlemen of
Spot. Yes. Yeah.
man, it is that one. Um yeah.
So
I
did
don't
you know?
know.
So Hanson Robotics, they obviously do really cool stuff. Have you seen Sophia?
Yes.
So they busy building multiple Sophias. Like they started this year with that, and they are planning to like people can buy them and whatever. I don't know at what rate they're building them. The video I saw about 2 months ago, they built like 27 something of them, but they were actually putting a production line together to like deliver a lot more Sophias a lot faster. But that obviously, Sophia is really cool. The stuff I saw at a conference where they asked her some questions and whatever, and it's amazing. It's amazing, obviously, to see how realistic they made it, but that's probably not the coolest thing. The coolest thing really was the AI that drives her to have a spontaneous conversation, because that's something that they obviously
Yeah, I've seen
programmed
that.
her to do. But the other big one is Boston Dynamics. So they've been in the news quite a bit because of that one video that they had where the guy was like on a gun range and the robot was like firing and whatever. And then they actually released a
Yeah, but
statement to
wasn't
say that
that
it
fake?
wasn't. Yeah, that it wasn't true because it's CGI. It wasn't their robot, whatever. And they kind of like completely separated themselves from military and whatever. Like they didn't believe that militarizing robots and things was the right direction for them and whatever. But anyway, did you know that Hyundai bought them? So Hyundai bought Boston Dynamics. They're the 80% owner last year in December. 80% owner of Boston Dynamics, and the 20% is owned by a Japanese bank. Can't remember their name. which was quite interesting because they're no longer making money and whatever, and they were never really a money making company. They were more a research company, and they obviously Google also owned them for a couple of years in between, and Google sold their stake and whatever. But now it's owned by Hyundai, or the Hyundai Group, Hyundai Motor Group or something owns them. But talking about that, I don't know if it's Boston Dynamics or Hanson Robotics that had military contracts, I think from DARPA, like in the 90s, where they started with the first like robotic dog looking things from a military perspective. I think probably the form factor was the best form factor to have like a military type of I don't know, robot, because it can go like really low and under things and whatever. And the military didn't use them because at the time they were too noisy. Like the tech wasn't probably there yet, but they were like too noisy. That's why it was abandoned in the 90s. I mean, it won't be the first time military didn't drive a lot of these, a lot of these things.
Yeah.
There's a university, I forgot the name now. I've got the YouTube video somewhere. There's a university that in 1967 got funding to build a robot. Now, it wasn't fully autonomous, but it did look like a R2D2 looking thing with cameras and whatever, and it could move, and it had wheels, and it could do object avoidance and all kinds of things. And you could give it commands, like basic commands, like move forward 100, turn right, move forward 200, like how you would do like basic commands. And that was like in 1967. So robotics has come quite far, I think, from that, because I think we're past the point now of what the mechanics of it can do. The tech, how easy it is to build robot dogs. There's a guy on YouTube called James Bruton, if anybody wants to go and follow him. That guy's quite awesome. He's a movie CGI FX costume designer, gadget geek engineer, whatever, but he builds 3D prints and programs and things like from the BB-8 ball to these open dog projects, which you can build like your own dog and all kinds of things, but he makes the plans freely available. But the tech has gone so far that kind of like anybody can build the physical thing, the whatever robot you're building. I think where the future now lies is designing that next step. How do you get that robot to be, I don't know, as clever as a human being, I guess.
Well, that's the trick, right? And I think this might answer your question a little bit. There's an article here that says that robots will be commonplace in homes by 2050. So
could very well be. Did you see Samsung beginning of the year? Now, this is something that I would still want to go and do in my life, which is like a geek bucket list item thing. But it's to go to CES, the Consumer Electronic Fair in Vegas every year. It's every year in January. So is it last year or this year? I'm confused now because of all this COVID stuff. But anyway, at the last CES, Samsung had their robot out. It's the same time when Samsung also launched their new JetBot AI, which is like their Roomba on steroids. Like pet detection, pet avoidance, poop avoidance, and all kinds of stuff, because like there's lots of memes with Roombas going through dog poop and things like that. But they have this robot, which is not a humanoid looking thing, but it is a robot with like a 7 degrees of freedom arm and a camera and whatever. But it can.
Wait, what's this thing called again?
It's the Samsung. Hold on, I might actually have it in my old notes. It's a Samsung AI robot. I forgot its name. Samsung
Robot vacuum.
It's not the robot vacuum, but that is one that they released this year. Look at this article.
JetBot.
So JetBot's the robot vacuum. Search for Bot Handy, I think is what it's called. Bot Handy.
Samsung.
Else, check in the private chat. I sent you a link there quickly. That's the one. Bot Handy, yeah, that's the one. You can play that, just mute the audio in case there's music or something, because at CES, if it's a 30-second clip, they might have had music. But this thing is aimed at two things. So it's aimed at being like a home domestic lady type of thing. So cleaning up after you. Or to help the elderly. Like do certain things, like, So pause it there quickly. So what it's doing there is that robot's camera does have advanced detection with a camera so that it can pick up objects, so that it knows, oh, this is a plate. So take it, how hard can you lift it up? Whatever. Oh, this is a cup. This is a that. So it knows kind of like when something's glass, when something's metal and whatever. And it does that with its camera and some advanced sensors. Because again, that's something really hard to teach a robot, like at random how to open up any door, or, does it turn left? Does it turn right? Does it push? Does it pull? How hard, how sticky is the door? Whatever the case may be. What if the door is sticky? Does it just rip it out of its, hinges? Like, robots needs to be taught these things, though, right? That we do instinctively. So anyway, you can play again, but that's what it was doing there. So it can pack the dishwasher, it can pick up laundry, do all kinds of things. And this is Samsung. Samsung reckons they're going to start delivering some of these things within the next few years. I think it was like 2025 or something.
Pouring wine, placing the flour. Only has one arm, though. I mean, doesn't that make it a disadvantaged or disabled robot?
I don't know. Interesting, though. But again, does it need to have more arms? Why do we have two arms?
Well, I mean, it would probably work faster. Now it's like got to pick up one plate at a time, and
Jeez. Now you want to tell your robot to work faster?
Yeah, fuck. If I'm gonna, how much is this thing? How much
Probably
is
a lot
this
of
thing?
money.
Yeah,
Probably a lot of money.
That's gonna take it. It would be quicker if I loaded the dishwasher at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's cute.
See.
It's very cute because it's got like the whole wink thing going on, and it's got the whole, the eyes that do like these little. I'm happy now. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at it's a drunk as well. You see, he's happy that he's pouring wine. It's an alcoholic already.
So Bot Care. So there's Bot Handy is the one that you saw now, and then there's Bot Care. So Bot Care is like their it's like a robotic assistant that takes care of some things in your life, like your schedule, your habits, what you need through the day. It'll bring you coffee, it'll do whatever. Bot Handy is more like it cleans up after you type of thing, whatever. But I'm just seeing because Samsung actually had an article on the website. Let me put this in chat for everybody else to see, because you guys can see that in chat. But that I think was pretty cool. And that was this year at CES. So in 2011 at CES. I don't know how they did CES. Sorry, 2010. 2021. I don't know how they did this at CES this year, like what the COVID regulations and thing was that allowed them to do this, if it was done like remotely or whatever. But pretty cool that Samsung is busy doing this, because this is again commercializing a lot of this tech, though.
Can you put that in the private chat?
Let me do that.
Boom.
There we go, the second one. Yeah, see, the big difference with that JetBot AI, which is that vacuum, is that it uses LiDAR and 3D sensors and all kinds of things. So it has a lot more. The Roomba, as cool as it is still a very basic but autonomous.
This is just a guy standing in front of a big TV, dude. What's happening here?
Yeah, scroll down. There's text. This is the news article that they wrote. You need to watch the video in the other link I sent you. There's two links.
Oh, one link. This link? That's not a link.
The one on Verge. The one on the Verge.
Samsung is making a robot that can pour wine and bring. This is the same robot.
Yeah, scroll down a bit. That video, I think, has a bit more than
this one.
Yeah. See, this one shows, I think it's either bot handy or bot care, or it shows bot handy and bot care. Yeah.
Okay. So this is like the near future now. This is like 2025.
Yeah, from what I recall, it was like very close. I watched this in the beginning of the year now. I'll need to re-listen to that, but that was like very close. The tech was very close.
I'm just skipping ahead because he was talking like, what the? Hey.
No, you jump back now. It was already at like a certain place. So skip forward. I don't go there. Forward a lot more. He's talking a lot of other nonsense now.
So where do I go now?
Samsung TVs and dishwashers, more.
Okay, AI technology. Is that where I want to be?
I don't know, click. What's that do? Nah, more. Go like to the next block.
Well,
See, we saw that. See, he brings him.
Ooh, he brought him a glass of water.
Dude, don't tell me you don't want a robot that brings you a brandy and Coke. Just saying. Be honest now.
I mean, I get it. The tech is still young, but I guess.
But how cool is it though?
But talking about the future of robotics here.
Yeah, dude, this is the 2110. This is this Nokia 2110. You said that by 2050 that robots will be like a domestic
I didn't
product.
say that. The article said that.
Yeah, the article. So, yeah, that is the iPhone 12 in 2050. We need to give it 20 years.
Okay, so what we're saying is, if anybody's expecting an iRobot in their house, it's not going to happen anytime soon. This is what we've seen already.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
I think that's pretty cool though. Have you seen the robotic pet? Let me paste you that link. It's called Mothman or something. Did you see the Furby thing? Did you see that one?
No, but I know a robotic pet. I've had one. It's a Furby.
No, click on the link. Click on the link. It's an emotional pet, this thing.
An emotional pet, okay.
Yeah, it has emotional capabilities. There you go.
Mothman. An AI pet robot with emotional capabilities. AI pet created from a totally new concept. It possesses emotional capabilities that evoke like living animals with a but this was the same Furby when it first came out. Oh, the Furby's gonna be like, you're gonna be able to tell when it's sad, when it's hungry, when it's happy.
What's Furby? I'm gonna Google Furby now. What's a Furby? Oh no, dude. That thing.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
Bring up a Furby quickly on the screen. Just bring up Furby.
When they brought out these toys, okay, that's what they said. They said that it's going to evoke emotion and all that stuff. Look at that. The Furby is back. It's back, guys. This is the future of robots.
Yeah, it probably now has lithium-ion batteries and the charge lasts a week. It's still boring. It's not a Molphin.
Hold on. There we go. First look. That Furby is back. Look at that. See, it's got like...
Dude, that guy probably played with the Furby when he was a kid.
It moves. It talks. You can see when it's happy. There's the emotion. Can you see the emotion right there? Look at that. So it rolled the eyes now. See? Oh, look, it's happy. Oh, it fell over. You see? Now it needs your help. Yay, it's happy again. Emotion. And it fell over again. What a stupid toy. Just keeps falling over.
See, you can literally buy a Molphin now in June for $400, like $6,000.
$400. Why?
Yeah. Yeah, go to the Kickstarter.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Molfin. What a weird name. Molfin.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's
The
from
we-
Molfin Kickstarter, not Muffin.
I said
Molfin.
Molfin.
Moflin, Moflin.
Molfin.
But go to the Kickstarter. Search for the Kickstarter.
There, Kickstarter campaign, Molfin.
Yeah, but go to the website. Or go there. But you must go to the website. They have like a graph thing that on there that shows like it's AI, like where it is on the spectrum or something.
Hi, my name is blah, 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 blah. President and founder of Vanguard Industries. Vanguard Industries, specializing in concept, solution, product, experience design. I'd like to introduce you to the pet of the future. This is Molfin, a friend. Hi, I'm Molfin. Molfin is an AI pet with emotional capabilities, similar to human beings and animals. Molfin utilizes GA or genetic algorithms. This DNA evolves like human DNA and it takes in data from experiences. Therefore, every Molfin has its own unique personality. I swear this is what they said about the Furbies, dude. This is just more higher grade language, but I swear this is what they said about the Furbies when they're first coming out. That the Furbies will learn from its owner and it will have its own personality and they won't all be the same.
The Furby was a Tamagotchi compared to
this is just a Tamagotchi 2.0.
Exactly. So the Samsung robot is just a Tamagotchi 1.0. Like, just give it time. Dude, like $6,000.
It's too much.
People buy dogs that costs more than that. This thing,
you
could
dog,
probably replace its
alive.
batteries.
It's real. It's
but how long does it last?
Valuable.
12 years, 15 years,
stupid.
Done.
This is so stupid. If this is the future of robots, this is so stupid. I'm sorry.
Go to the Kickstarter. Just click in the link that I sent you.
Oh my word!
Go to the Kickstarter.
You in the freaking Kickstarter?
Dude, I thought you were a tech guy. Tech people goes to Kickstarter. Just go to Kickstarter. Scroll down.
Okay.
Scroll. Look at all of that. Look at it.
Look at all of what? I don't know what I'm looking at.
A Molfin. Scroll down.
Yeah. I know.
Scroll down more.
Even the cat's not impressed.
Dude, it's got AI emotions. Look at that. So the AI technology said possesses feelings. So I don't know what a two-dimensional feeling map is, but I mean...
Furby.
Emotions move across the map. It has its own personality. It evolves, acclimates.
Okay, wait.
Dude, what if it's...
Hold on.
Can you reset it, though?
You can reset a Furby. Hold on. It's owned by Hasbro now. Okay, that's cool. Interacts with Furby Connect World app. In-app surprises.
Dude, it needs an
download
app.
the app. Okay, cool.
It needs an app.
Doesn't need an app. Doesn't need an app. You have the option. You get Furbies together. They like to chat. Okay. They have interaction. Okay. There's a game that you can get with the Furby.
Not the same, dude. Not the same at all.
Let's see here. I thought they'd have more information on the website. I swear to you, dude, when Furbies first came out, this Mufflin thing was exactly how they it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, what did they say when they introduced the Nokia 3210? They were telling you best thing ever, doesn't have an aerial or antenna anymore, battery lasts 9 days, you can store 25 text messages. They were selling it the same thing. All the current tech is the coolest ever. That's how they had to sell that Furby probably. But I mean, this is still cool. And it's available in a few months.
Are you going to get one?
Reese might want one.
Oh my word. Really?
Why is the dogs being weird here now? They probably heard I'm getting a replacement.
Dude, this is nowhere near a dog. Nowhere near as good as a dog.
I know it's not a
This is
dog.
not a real pet.
It's like a. But dude, imagine like the elderly people that can't have pets in their house, like if they're in a home or something, like, and they have this little thing that's
No,
with them
I
all the
agree
time. They
with
just to
Tony. I
charge.
I agree with Tony. They make great targets. That's it.
No,
Yes.
no, dude, you
Yes.
shoot that thing with a gun. That is sacrilege. I love destroying stuff, but not even not tech, dude. No,
What is the point?
no Molfins will be
No,
shot
you better
at
off with
with guns.
not better off, but I mean it's the same as a Furby to me, just more expensive. Yes, okay, I get where you're coming from with the whole it's like it's the tech is more advanced. Okay, but it's still not like mind-boggling because we've had this kind of tech
Yeah,
before.
and no, well, no,
I want to
no,
see.
you
I
haven't
want to. No,
had
no,
this
no.
tech
What is
before.
going to be extremely exciting is when there's a humanoid robot in my house, just like this one-armed disabled robot packing away dishes. And it's not impressive. I'm sorry. I get the tech is impressive. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Right, the ability to see a plate and know how gentle or not gentle to pick up some. That's impressive. Okay, cool. We're making strides in that. But I still want a flipping robot with 2 arms. You know, I don't mind the pixelated face. I can get over that.
the
But the
Terminator. You want the
I don't want to terminate. I don't want
Terminator?
someone to go and kill someone or anything like that. But I mean, I'm just saying, like the future of tech to me, or the future of robots for me, we should be talking about like, okay, cool. When are robots actually going to be in our houses in 2050? Okay, cool. Is it really possible? I don't think so. I don't think the tech is going to be ready by 2050, but these guys seem to think so. That there's going to be a robot
No,
doing
the
your
tech will
vacuum.
be. It will be ready by 20. Dude, it's another 50 years from now. If you look at that, if you look at that graph, even if you just look at Moore's
2050 is another
law,
50 years from now. You need to work on your
no,
math, my
30,
friend.
30 years from now. No, if you just look at like the last 50 years, 50 years ago, we had a robot that, already. So, I mean, just imagine another 50 years from now. 2050 is 30 years from now, but just imagine another 50 years from now. Just all I'm saying is that um, I think by 2050, we probably won't have a robot that looks like that thing.
So that's what this
That's
guy
a little
said.
far fetched.
Dr. Pearson predicts that by 2050 there will be a robot population of 9.4 billion worldwide.
Dude, that's more people. More. No, wait. How many people do we have in the world right now?
8. Almost 8 billion.
That's more robots than people.
Let me just
Well,
double check.
no. Well, yeah, we'll probably have like 15 billion people in the world at the moment, but
Population.
human Popeye.
Yeah.
8 billion. Yeah.
Almost 8 billion. So in 50 years we might be double that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
the growth picked up quite a bit in the last bit because we are, what do you call it? Making offspring faster than what we should. So no, maybe that's just an artistic impression of what a robot could look like. Maybe it could, dude. We have Sophia.
Exactly.
And if you look at what Sophia looks like today, they modeled her after a human being, which makes you, think of it as a human being, So Sophia, Hansen Robotics, whatever. They also now have this other one called Grace. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, I've seen Grace or heard of it. I mean, this is some freaky stuff, man.
No, very, 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 very. But did you see the ones they're now using Grace for in the medical in the medical industry because of her camera? She literally scans everybody for like if they have a temperature and whatever. Which I know is like boring tech. We've had it for years at the airports and stuff, but Grace is being used in hospitals or whatever, I think.
I think it's just the human aspect of it. Like, oh, it's a friendly face scanning me. Yay, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
But again, where is robotics going to in the future? If we want to stick to the pop culture view of robotics, then I'm seeing the series of today eventually being a physical thing 30 years
Yes.
from now.
I mean, this could
A,
be
a
Siri
personal
could look
digital
something like
assistant.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Siri could look something like this.
The problem is, probably yes, because you do need somebody to
And
do
this
physical
man
things
needs a
for us.
girlfriend badly. Like, stat, can we organize? Because
But think about Jarvis, though, right? Um, Jarvis doesn't have a body. Well, not in the first Iron Man's.
I was about to say
Yeah. So, I mean,
vision, my friend.
yeah. So, Jarvis didn't have a body. Jarvis was just an AI, like HAL 9000 or whatever that they had on.
Yeah, but Jarvis, I think we have a Jarvis. It's called Siri or Alexa or whatever. Like those are the Jarvises of today. If I can put it that way. And like you were saying the other day,
Yeah.
when you can get your smart home like to where you want it to be, I mean, you're basically going to be living very very close to a Tony Stark, and I mean you're almost there at the moment, right?
Yes, because I can interact with stuff and ask things to do certain things and whatever. It's not. You see, the thing is with Siri, which is why I don't quite agree that Jarvis is the Siri of today. I think Jarvis is the Siri of tomorrow, because Jarvis almost has conscience in a way. And I know this gets
Fair enough.
like deeply philosophical now, whether what does it mean to have a conscience and a soul and whatever. But Jarvis almost has that. Jarvis has that. I don't know what we want to call that, but So, and I think these robots of the future, they're aiming to mimic that very, very closely. That it's going to be very hard for us as humans to not treat the robot as a person, because what is a person again now? So
Yeah, that's the thing.
all I
I
know
think it
is
should.
20 years from now, being a robot technician will be a new cool job, because
Funny you
these things
should,
need to be fixed.
yeah, well, funny you should say that. So there's some disadvantages with robots that have been going around, right? And one of the most common things is that the use of robots can create economic problems if they replace human jobs, which is a real threat. It's already happening
Yeah.
in some major factories. Humans have
Industry
lost their jobs.
4.0 has started doing that, yeah.
Yeah. Robots can only do what they are told to do, which may or may not be a good thing. This means the safety procedures are needed to protect humans and other robots because they're told you need to tell them what to do. Although robots can be superior to humans in some ways, they are less dexterous than humans. They don't have such powerful brains and cannot compete with a human's ability to understand what they can see, which is something we've touched on earlier. Often robots are very costly in terms of in the initial cost, maintenance, and they need and the need for extra components and the need to be programmed to do the task. So this is what's going to be very interesting, I think, if we can talk about this in the closing moments, is do you think robots are going to be like cars in the sense of you get to upgrade them as time goes by, new parts come out, you're like, oh cool, I'm going to get you like don't worry Alexa, I'm going to get you like this nice shiny new arm next week. Are you excited for the new like 2.0 arm that's going to have like, I don't know, screwdriver built in and stuff? Do you think that's going to be the way it's going to be? Like, you upgrade parts of your robots. Obviously, there'll be updates for viruses and stuff. Like it's going to be like a moving computer. Um, but I mean, do you think that's how it's going to be, or do you think they're going to pull an Apple, and every 3-4 years you just got to buy a whole new robot?
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing, though, because on the one side, I would think like if you were to just upgrade your one iCar to the next iCar, you do like what you do when you get a new iPhone. You put the things next to each other, the cameras like sync and whatever, and then it transfers all your data. The challenge you have with is what are you doing from a a waste disposal point of view, like handing the cars down. Eventually, the cars will become obsolete because in that total future world of self-driving cars and whatever, the only reason why self-driving cars, I think, is going to be not easier to do in the future is when everything starts becoming aware of everything else. Like the road is aware of the cars on it, the intersections is aware of each other, cars are aware of each other. That's something that's lacking today. There's a lot of tech that goes into the Teslas and the things that does some of this autonomous driving because of the tech that's built into it. And the fact that you mentioned the upgrades is, so if you've ever felt rich and you want to go and choose a Tesla on the websites, you actually have an option you can tick for like an extra, I don't know how many thousands of dollars to buy like an upgrade chip for it already that you can get the future autonomous driving update. So you buy like the chip for it now, but the software isn't there yet. But they're like, you buy the plug-in already for it. So that's an option that you can add by the time you buy it. So I think some cars are definitely going to have that, but at some point as well, you are going to be dealing with, things that just get old, and probably not in the short term, but in the future, I think those things are going to be that cell phone syndrome that we have today. Like you say, every 2 years you get a new one, and off you go. The thing with it though is, I think something that we need to make sure we draw a distinct line between is the physical hardware and the mechanics of things versus its soul, the Siri, the backup, the whatever that you have of your phone, the Javas, because I think that's where it's going to be. When you upgrade it, it's going to be like, when you reboot, you will be upgraded. So that will move with it. So you'll still have the same experience, the same everything, all its learnings. It'll know who you are, what you like, whatever, but it would be just with new hardware. So I think that's how it's going to be. I don't think you're going to need to restart. There's no need for it to, what I mean with restart, fresh start, there's no need for you to have a fresh start on that, because again, a lot of it being what you want it to be for you, it's going to be with it learning you. Because I mean, the algorithms in terms of like self-learning and what's the right word? I forgot now. But where this tech is designed to learn and be rewarded for when it does right versus when it does wrong, like the same way you would teach a dog. These models are also designed like that, whereby it would reward itself when it does good versus when it does bad. So I don't think you want to lose any of that, because that's not stuff that you back up and restore. It doesn't quite work like that. So I think in the future, we're going to have hardware separate from software, and that software will just live with you wherever. It'll be part of who you are. So when you go from your car to your house, to your plane, to your boat, it'll be there like Jarvis.
Okay. That sounds exciting. And also, like, I think we need to touch on this very quickly as well. Tony makes a good point. Hackers will always find a way to ruin everything. I think that's going to be something. I hope that by the time robots come out and they're, washing your clothes or doing the vacuum, and they'll have such sophisticated hacker,
antivirus firewalls.
Yeah, antivirus firewalls that, your robot isn't just going to drop a vacuum and then. Or maybe take the vacuum and try and stick it up your bum. I don't know, but I hope that they'll be highly secure.
Imagine a virus, and that's a good point though that Tony makes. Is what happens when those things do get infected with a worm or a virus that makes them turn against humans and all kinds of things. So I mean,
if there's any robotic man, and if there's any person that's working in robotics right now listening to this podcast, whether it's now or later, please program the robot to act sick if it has a virus, please.
And throw up what, like resistors and transformers?
No, it doesn't have to throw up anything, but it's got to sneeze, it's got to cough, it's got to be like, oh, I'm not feeling good today. I got a scratchy throat. I got, There was a Trojan horse the other day when I was downloading the new update.
Yeah, dude, it's unfortunately going to be like that. There is always that yin and yang side to things, and there's always bugs in these tech that's going to get exploited. I think it's going to get a lot more complicated, and with reinforcement learning and those things, hopefully, that's the word I was looking for, reinforcement learning. With reinforcement learning, hopefully, these AI models will be clever enough not to be poisoned like that. But yeah, that risk's always going to be there.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. The future of robotics. Very interesting conversation. Thank you so much, Jannie, once again for joining me. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Well, we will be talking about the future of
entertainment,
ladies and gentlemen. I think it's just we're almost done, man. It's like it's basically 2 more episodes, and then we're done, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's it for the series. We're still going to be doing our Tech Tuesday. We'll be going back to the normal Tech Tuesday. We'll also be doing a follow-up on our Star Wars episode. My mother contacted me and said that we were both wrong about which is the best Star Wars movie.
What? No, Joe's mother. No.
So yeah, we'll be back talking more about that, and Jannie will also be watching the movies again in their not order they were released, but in the order of their
chronological
chronological order. And we'll see what he thinks. Is it better to watch it episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or is it best to watch it in the way they were released? We'll find out next time in 2 weeks, or no, more than 2 weeks, but in 2 weeks' time, we'll be back with another Tech Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for engaging and talking with us. Tony, there were a few others that were also in the chats. Gentle, Gareth, Dylan, good to have you back again, buddy. And Nico, thank you guys so much for commenting and chatting with us. And let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. Do you think... What was that big question? Oh, yeah. Do you think it's better to save 1 person or 5 lives? Let us know what you thought about that little section in this
trolley theory.
The trolley theory, yes.
Chat. I will paste it in chat. Where's chat?
Yes. Yeah, and we'll be back soon. If you want to catch more of me and Jannie, we'll be back on Thursday. We're going to be part of the late night chats. We're going to have Bevan, Mikhail, and Oba King joining us as well. We're just going to talk a lot of cock. And Jannie found an interesting article, which I will leave for the night, for the evening. And there's some other great videos and other things that we're going to talk about that evening. We're talk a lot of cock, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, guys. Jannie, do you want to say anything in closing?
No. Exciting times, man. I'm enjoying the ride.
Dude, we're not even going to be alive when there's a robot. No. We're not even going to be alive by the time we can have a robot in our house. Like, I don't know what you mean by exciting.
I'm 40 years old today. So 2050, I will be
happy birthday.
80. I will be alive. Not today. Right now. I'm gonna be like Sheldon, and I'm gonna go to 150. I will be checking up on all these promises these guys are making.
I will be here.
Mars being colonized, and I will come and make sure with my little clipboard. No, Elon Musk, he lied.
No. Hopefully you'll live until 100, and then if you do, then you'll be able to see the first robot in the house. I also need to get to about 90, and then maybe we'll see it. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Otherwise, I'll just I don't know where I was going with that.
We could just build our own one, dude.
There we go. 3D printed.
Exactly. Open dog.
Will it work? All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, back here on Thursday for a late night chat. Come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to just talk cock the entire time with you guys. But if I don't see you then, stay safe to another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.